What is up, guys? Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to my videos. Now right here I have everything that we're gonna be needing to do the job. Now this pan right here, you don't need to replace. You can actually just go on with reusing the same one, but the one that's currently on the truck doesn't have a drain plug like how this one does. As you guys can see, there's a drain plug right there. So in the future, whenever we decide to change the transmission fluid again, it should be a lot easier for us to do. We don't gotta remove the whole pan, replace the gasket. All we gotta do is drain it. So I'm very excited to put this pan on my truck. Now, since we're gonna be down there, I went ahead and also ordered a new transmission filter. This right here wasn't that expensive, but I figured since we're gonna be down there, might as well replace it now. With this, you also got a new filter gasket. Now for this gasket, you do need a special tool. This is the tool you're gonna need to remove that little thing. Now that is gonna be linked down below for you guys, but it comes in a set like this. So just keep that in mind. But with this kit, you also got the gasket itself. So I'm very happy that we're gonna be doing this. And then the transmission fluid that I'm gonna be using is ATF by Motul. Now this right here is something that I want to run on my Subi, on my C. But this is the first car that is gonna have fit on it. So in the near future, just know we're gonna be changing the Subi's fluid and C's fluid. Now everything here is gonna be linked down below for you guys. But with that being said, let's go under the truck and remove that pan. Alright, I got the truck all nice and jacked up. Right now it's just a little higher in the front because I want more space to work underneath. But if you go under the truck, you'll see the pan. This right here is the pan that we're gonna be removing. On the sides, you can already tell it's leaking a little, so I'm happy we're also gonna be taking care of that now. Now all those bolts are gonna come off, and I feel like those are the easy bolts to remove. The hard bolts are gonna be these two right here holding this bracket. So we're gonna have to remove this thing right here first to get access to the bolts underneath there. So let's take this off. Now this little blue thing we can remove. And then this gray thing right there is a clip holding this in. So let's take this clip out. Now that we got that clip out and the linkage is disconnected, we can just push this straight back and out. It has like little clips on the side. Push the clips inward. Now that that's loosened up, we can go ahead and get access to those two bolts holding this metal bracket there. Those two are 10 millimeters. The rest of the bolts holding the pan are gonna be 13. So we're gonna start off with these two and then remove all of them. As you're removing them, have your pans ready because this is gonna start to leak. But let's get this bad boy out. Alright, I got that old transmission pan right here. It kind of looks like the fluid was changed not that long ago because it's still nice and red. Not as dark as I was planning for it to be, but one thing that I will say is I lined up the new gasket with this old pan and it fits perfectly. So best believe we are now gonna have a new pan with an actual drain plug, because again, this one right here doesn't have it. The old gasket actually came out with the pan, so I'm very happy that we're not gonna have to spend a lot of time down there cleaning the old gasket. Now what I want to do right now is remove the old filter and the filter gasket. This should sit like this. So let's go ahead, remove the old filter and the old filter gasket and clean the surface where the gasket is gonna sit. I want to make sure that it has a nice clean surface for it so that we don't have any leaks. So let's go ahead and take care of that next. Just pull down on the filter to remove it. Alrighty, we got the old gasket out. As you guys can see, that tool did a great job of removing it all in one piece. Now, I've seen some people say that you can reuse this gasket as long as it's not broken or cracked. But because we got a new one, I'm just gonna go ahead and put the new one on there. I found a 18mm that fits just right on there. So I'm gonna use this socket right here to go ahead and help me push this back in the transmission. Speaking of the transmission, this is the old transmission pan right here. This is the new one. Let's go ahead, pop this new filter gasket on there, add the filter itself, then we can go ahead and put our transmission pan. Alright, the pan that I ordered from Amazon does not fit. As you guys can see, there's like this indent right there, but it doesn't have it in any of these corners here. And when I go to put this pan in, this part right there starts to hit the transmission filter, so we're not going to be able to use the new pan. However, we are still going to be changing out the fluid. I'm still happy that we're getting the chance to do that. Now, I did went ahead and realigned the gasket, and it does fit on the new pan. The only issue is that this right here is again touching the transmission filter, so it's not letting it close properly. But I'm going to go ahead, get this bad boy all nice and cleaned up, and then we're going to go ahead, slap our gasket in there, and put this pan back on the car. It happens. Alrighty, now that we got the transmission all torqued down, we can go ahead and start adding our fluid. To add the fluid, you do gotta add it through the dipstick, so it's gonna be right over here. This thing has a lock, so you gotta pull it up and then towards you, and then it should come out. Alrighty, I got the owner's manual right here, and if you guys go to the capacities and specifications, you would find that the transmission 4L60E contains 5.0 quarts or 4.7 liters. I already went ahead and added these 5 quarts right here. Now I got a 6 one over here in case we need to add a little more, but honestly I'm just about ready to fire her up and check that dipstick. Now this isn't your typical oil change where you can just go check the dipstick and you're good. You actually gotta let the car run, let it warm up, put it in each gear that it has, and then while the car is still running, come out and check the dipstick. So that's what we're gonna do next. Y'all ready for this cold start? Alright, the car's pretty much all warmed up. If I turn on the heater, there's that nice hot air coming out. So that's how I know she's nice and warm. What we're gonna do now though is, like I said, we're gonna put it in each gear for about 3 to 5 seconds. I like to count Mississippi seconds, so 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, and so on. But there is reverse, neutral, drive, 3, 2, and 1 on this truck. So that's what I'm gonna do right now. Alright, let's check that dipstick. You guys can see we're just on that mark. We're right here, right above that second mark, so we're Gucci. Alrighty, I am very happy that that is now taken care of. I'm not gonna lie, I still gotta fill out a service sticker, which I have over here. One of these things, and then that'll really be like the cherry on top. But for the most part, this job is now completed. It is very reassuring knowing when you did it and how it got done, and knowing that it got done. But with that being said, I am gonna have everything linked down below for you guys. I'm gonna have the fluids linked down below. I'm gonna go ahead and have the pan linked down below, the pan gasket, because the gasket did work, the pan didn't, but you know what I'm trying to say. Everything's gonna be linked down below, so make sure you check out the description box. But this is Javi from Javi's Productions. Peace out, my friends.